Let's take a look at what's going on with Dogecoin today, guys. All right, so Dogecoin came up. I had a target in my last video at .239 approximately. I was looking at this flag pattern right here. I was saying that we could drag from the bottom of the pole to the top of the pole, drag that to the breakout, something like this, where we broke this resistance. If we break the resistance, then we can target from the top to the bottom of the pole, drag that to the breakout, and that gives us that target of around .239. That's what I was talking about in the last video. And we broke out. We didn't get a hardcore breakout, but we did kind of bounce on this trend line that we'd been watching before. Support, 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 giving us this trend line right here. Came out of this what is it called, consolidation, something like that, broke out of that, and then just kind of bounced to the upside on this trend line right here. And right here it looks like we got a nice little bounce to the upside for whatever reason. We did actually break the top right here. Maybe that is what this is coming from. And then we're also breaking out of the Fibonacci retracement box that we're looking at, that we've been watching for the last actually for a while now. It's been since the beginning of the year, I think, probably since I started making videos the second time. But anyways, we've been watching this rising wedge. We had a big run up, and then we started coming down, or it felt like we were topping out, maybe because it was a double top. Put up the Fibonacci retracement box ever since back here, because we had let's just kind of reenact what happened. We had a uptrend like this. We were at all-time highs. We are on the daily time frame. We started breaking that to the downside. That was a signal that we might be going down. Set up the Fibonacci retracement levels, something like this. Then we can, sell. And I talk about that on my channel. Like, if we sold right here and then bought back right here, that was perfect. The 38% came into play. Got a bounce on that. Got resistance at the red one, came down, hit the 38, hit the 50%, kind of bounced in that area, went down further, came back up to the 58. So if you would have, you could have bought this one and then sold this one, bought it, sold it. There's a bunch of instances that it was kind of coming into play, the Fibonacci retracement levels, and we actually came down and hit the bottom of that. But this is kind of the end of that era right now, because we just broke out of it right here, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and delete this because we already hit that. We already talked about that, and we hit that flag pattern target. We could actually probably delete this just to clean up the chart. So we'll have to see what's next. But just breaking out of that Fibonacci retracement box that we were just talking about, because that was the previous top over here basically. Now I think what I'm looking at are the previous resistances. So if we go into like the daily time frame and zoom out, let's see where the resistances were before, and these are the three levels that I was talking about the other day. Yeah, that looks about right. If you zoom in on the daily time frame, you can maybe drag it something like this. Yeah, just to kind of, okay, so it's possible. I mean, these are the next spots that I'd be looking at on the way up if we continue to head up, because we started breaking out of this area right here. Oops, get the pen tool. This area right here, then maybe we can get into this area over here. Well, not that way, but that way. What I was thinking about earlier is, and this kind of, I don't know, but it's like a little planet, you know what I mean? Like, we just broke out of this planet into space. Now we need to go to the next little planet. That's the next one around, and then maybe it'll be something like this. And so let's kind of delete all those. But yeah, I think these are the next ones that we'd be looking at, in my opinion. So hopefully we could be looking at a target of around .42, but I think we'd have to clear out these ones first, and there might be some, like, it might not just be like a straight shot to like any one of these, but these are the next ones that I'm looking at if we're going to if we don't just completely, let me zoom in on this one. If we don't just completely like bounce out of this bull trap and then like come back down and like break this trend line and start coming back down to these Fibonacci retracement, we would actually be setting up a new one. We'd be setting up a new Fibonacci retracement level. Once we do get skeptical, this would turn into, the top would be up here. This would be like the red zone, and then you do something like this. So that would be like the new Fibonacci retracement zone that we're in right now. I mean, until we, like, right now we're just making new tops, so I don't even think we have to do that quite yet. But if we do start breaking trend lines going to the downside, and we do start thinking that we're cooling off, then we can start doing stuff like that. But like I was talking about before, I think the next spots, I wouldn't be surprised if we started coming up to like .30 or .342 or .424, somewhere around there. Just because we are breaking out of this resistance that we were just in. Let's go ahead and put it back to where it was. Yeah, like we're breaking out of here, that little planet right here that we've been in for a while. Now we're like, let me delete this, let me delete that, because that was 22 was the other target that we were looking at for a long time. Let's go ahead and delete that, delete this. We'd been watching this falling wedge pattern on this channel right here, and I was talking about the 3 targets, 1, 2, 3. I wasn't very sure that we were going to come up to the third one, but we made it. We came up, hit that .22 target, and now we're breaking through it. So yeah, that's parabolic action right there. And so Doge is doing pretty good in my opinion by breaking out of this little area right here. Let's see if we can continue that momentum, and let's see what kind of, how fast we can go up to the next level, or if we need to, you know, cool off a little bit and then maybe retest this top. We broke that we broke out of that resistance right here, but do we have to come back down and like retest it and then kind of do something like that? We'll have to wait and see, but it does look good right now in my opinion. Let's go check out Dogecoin to Bitcoin actually, because let's see, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Oh yeah, so this is what I was looking at. Okay, so Dogecoin to Bitcoin has been doing great ever since back here. We were looking at this little sideways action. We had resistance, support, kind of going sideways. We broke out of that resistance right here, and ever since then we've been moving to the upside. We've been watching this trend line as well. We have support, giving us this trend line. As long as we're on this uptrend, as long as we're on this uptrend right here and not breaking it, then that's a good sign, which we still are. But the next things that I was looking at is we have resistance right here and right here, which we're kind of coming into right now. But if we break it, then that's going to be good for Dogecoin. Sorry, let's back up for a second because you might not know, but if this chart is going down, then it's better to be in Bitcoin. If this chart is going up, then it's better to be in Dogecoin to Bitcoin. And people trade Bitcoin to Dogecoin instead of dollars to whatchamacallit. That's how it was like back in the day. You had to like trade altcoins through Bitcoin. But anyways, we have resistance right here. We have resistance right here, resistance right here. We're coming up and going to test it. I'm kind of curious if we're going to be able to break through that and then come up to the next one. I think this would be the next one, is that would be the top. But we still have to break through this. But if we can break through this, then yeah, Dogecoin's going to, because all that Bitcoin money is going to be flowing into Dogecoin. Eventually it'll probably, I don't know, we had this like huge pump right here. It's happened a bunch of times. This isn't even that long. This is Coinbase, so I should probably get a better one, a longer one, older one, should I say, like from Binance or something. But anyways, we're testing some resistances right now on the Dogecoin to Bitcoin chart, and you can see how high it's been before. Let's see how far this chart can go. And like I said, if this chart's going up for Dogecoin, or it's, if this starts going up, then it's good for Dogecoin. And look at how good it's been going up. So that's good for Dogecoin. It's in all this area. Being in Dogecoin is kind of better than being in Bitcoin, anyways. Yeah. So having said that, let's take a look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's doing very good as well. Let's see. I was kind of playing with the Fibonacci retracement chart in reverse, where you get, like, let's delete it. So you get the Fibonacci tool, and then instead of dragging from the bottom to the top, you drag from the top to the bottom, something like that. Let's see. And actually, I don't really know much about doing it like this anyways, but I think that this gives you areas to target on the way up once you do break out of that Fibonacci retracement box, which is basically the same. I think it's the same going up and down, I think. But anyways, that's probably not the best example. I was just playing with it the other day, and I was like, I wonder if this would be another possibility. This one's sitting at 109, this first level right here, 109,000. But I'm still looking at, let's just go ahead and delete that, because I shouldn't even be talking about that one, because I don't really know for a fact. But we have a cup and handle. I was just looking at it on my spare time. And then, so we have the cup, and then we have the handle. We got the breakout right here. We broke the resistance. We broke the previous top right here. And then we broke that trend line that we've been watching on this channel, that cup trend line. And in a cup and handle, you can drag from the bottom to the top of the cup, drag this to the breakout. And the breakout is where the channel pattern breaks out to the upside, because we got the cup, and then we got the channel pattern, got the breakout. And we drag that to the breakout, and I've been looking at a target of around 123,000, 123,800. It depends on where you drag from the bottom to the top of this. But I think that's like the bottom to the top. I don't know if you could get any bigger ones. But so that's kind of like, but that's what I've been looking at. And yeah, so it's looking pretty good. Looks like there's some pretty good, if we zoom in, looks like there's some decent volume candles. So let's see if it continues to push to the upside and hit 123,000. That'd be pretty cool. And there's a bunch of other coins that are doing crazy. So like Shiba Inu looks like it's doing crazy too. Not crazy, but well, this one looks like it's pretty good. I had $15 or something. I don't know. I didn't really, I've been in and out on Shiba in very little amounts, but in the past, but I haven't really been trading in general lately. But this one looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and do some technical analysis on it real quick. Oops, not that one. We have basically resistance. We had resistance, giving me this trend line right here. Then we have support, kind of like a triangle pattern. Drag from the bottom to the top of that, at least something like that. Drag that to the breakout. It kind of hit that target like perfectly. Let's see what else. There's also like this falling channel thing. What is it called? Opening wedge or something. I can't remember what it's called. But we basically have this channel pattern on Shiba right here too. Boom. It's breaking out right there. We could probably target from the top to the bottom of the channel. All this is my old technical analysis, all the other lines. Boom. Something like that. And that takes you up to around .00003153 or whatever. There's also this though. So back in the day, Shiba went really high and then really low. And you could use the Fibonacci retracement. This is a way to use the Fibonacci retracement chart in reverse for sure. Is you can get kind of like the way I did here, but let's go ahead and do it in real time. Let's get the Fibonacci tool. we drag from the top to the bottom. So we're trying to calculate a dead cat bounce basically. So something like that, because it went really high, came down really low, and then it got a pop up. Notice how when we got a pop up over here, it came up to the 50% level, sitting at around, what is that? That's .0000472. Bunch of zeros. I think it's like 4 or something. So yeah, I mean, you could be looking at something like this. I'm not in SHIB, but this was always something I kind of looked at, just because sometimes it'll retrace the way it retraced, like how when we're going up and then it has to come down to go back up. Sometimes I feel like sometimes it'll go down and then get a bounce up and then kind of go back down again or something like that. And then that's at 50% level like it did right here. Maybe it could come back up to it, or maybe it could even go higher. And then, but I mean, you never know. I mean, it could just go back up, but I don't, who knows? It's something that I kind of watch for sometimes if it's, if I don't really like it that much, but it's still very low. Like it went up really high and then it came down really low. Set up the Fibonacci retracement chart in reverse, and sometimes if you get like signals that it's breaking resistance, and it might go up to, that might be a target that you might be looking at. But yeah, that's up 22%. And basically, and like I've been telling you, go to tradingview.com, sign up for an account. It's free. Set up a watch list. Then you can see all the different ones that are kind of popping off for the day. Like SHIB is 23%. Like I was telling you to watch the altcoin compared to Bitcoin, because that'll also give you clues. Like right here, we had this resistance going to the downside, broke that going to the upside, boom. And as if you're watching these ones, it'll start, they'll probably both start moving at the same time, but you could be watching these trends in general and being like, oh, okay, this is testing it. It looks like it's breaking it. Cool, it just broke it. Good sign for SHIB or Doge or whatever. So yeah, those two look like they're doing really good right now. Doge is up 12%. Doge to Bitcoin is up 8%. What else do we got? Total crypto market cap is up 4%. That's pretty good. Ethereum to Bitcoin, that's one that I've been watching. It did break out of this resistance too, but let's see. I want Ethereum to pop because, yeah, I want to see how far it can go. But I don't know, I kind of do want to sell my Ethereum like later. I don't know, not sooner rather than later, but I don't know if it could get to a certain point that I think I'll probably sell it. But first we have to deal with some of this stuff. So we had this down channel, broke it going to the upside. We can target from the top to the bottom, drag it to the breakout, and I'd be looking at something like that. I was even thinking that maybe we could start heading up and trying to test this resistance up here. So, and if it did, then it'd be good for Ethereum. It just means that Ethereum is starting to catch up, because it had been kind of going down for a while. This chart's kind of dirty. Let's go to this one. Okay, so it had been going down for a while and then kind of going sideways for a while, stuck in this area for a few, had some nice little red candle days. Actually, those are a few days in a row that were nice red candles. But ever since then, it was kind of trading in this area. Now we're breaking out of different patterns. We had this little triangle pattern right here, broke out of that. The first target on that one is 3,280. We're getting close on that. And then the second target, the second pattern that we'd be looking at is this pattern right here. It's a falling channel. Drag from the bottom to the top of that, drag that to the breakout, and we'll be looking at that 3,886 target that we have right here. And then the other thing that I was kind of skeptical on is we have a cup and handle pattern, kind of like Bitcoin. So we could drag from the top to the bottom of that. I mean, it depends on where you do that from. I would do it in the middle, but which would be less. Let's do something like this. I don't know. I got a target of around 4,852, but we drag from the top to the bottom of the cup and handle, drag that to the breakout, which is the we have the cup, and then we have the channel pattern. Once we break out of the channel pattern going to the upside, then that's where we drag the top to the bottom of the cup to that point, and then boom, that gives us 4,852, which also takes us up to the previous top. That's like perfectly. If we could break out of the top, then maybe we can start looking at these other areas in the Fibonacci retracement levels. I think I was doing it on this one too, because I was wondering, I was like, okay, well, if we break out of the top, then we don't really have anything to look at, but you can drag, and I don't really know what these, like I said, probably shouldn't be talking about this, dragging from the bottom to the top and looking at these levels, but maybe these are possible levels. So this one is sitting at 7,403. Sorry, I had to like kind of zoom in. The purple is like a little dark on the screen. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe they are levels, that the next levels that you could be watching. So, yeah, Ethereum. Yeah, those are the three next targets that I'm looking at on Ethereum. We're almost at the first one. Getting close. Let's see if we can hit them, though. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Looks like stuff's doing pretty good right now. So, pretty good, but still, then you also want to look at Ethereum to Bitcoin, because if it's like, if Ethereum to Bitcoin's not doing good, then you might as well, like, Bitcoin might be doing better. So yeah, same with Dogecoin and what you call it. I mean, I like speculating on Dogecoin, but when it starts going down, then you know that Bitcoin's doing better. But let's go back to Dogecoin in general. This falling wedge was beautiful. We got, is my falling wedges are my favorite pattern in general. So, you know, bouncing to the downside, getting tighter and tighter as we go down, higher lows, lower lows, squeezing, trend lines are about to come into contact, and then we break out to the upside. Usually, sometimes it'll even break to the downside and then come back up and then break through, and that's a fake out, so you could get some of those as well. But yeah, once we break out of this resistance right here, then we could start targeting the previous resistances. And kind of similarly with this, like I was saying, if we break out of this resistance zone where we were kind of stuck here, then I think the next, you know, like the next gravity that we're going to be looking at is this area over here, where we're going to, you know, maybe come into contact with like .30. Just do a horizontal line just so we can kind of see where we're at on that compared to there, and then do something like that and that. So those are the next levels that we could possibly be heading towards. We're getting, I mean, let's see how much more percentages it's the next one, like 25%, and then 40% and 75%. That's kind of hardcore, but now that we're breaking out of this area, that's what we could be looking at, in my opinion. I'm looking at it on the daily time frame. I mean, yeah, like I was saying, on the 1 hour time frame, we could be looking at, you know, maybe retesting. Let's see, maybe retesting this top that we had right here or something like that. Let's see if we can stay above that top. That's the other thing that I'd be looking at in the short term, is keeping that Fibonacci retracement level, or you could even drag it. I mean, you could even drag a line on the top or whatever, the previous top. Let me go to the daily time frame because I can't see it. But we're mainly just watching this top right here. What I want to see us do is stay above that. We broke through the resistance. Now let's see if we can use it as support. Even if we come down and have to get support on it, bounce to the upside, then that'll be good. Like I said, I'm on the short term, I'm watching something like that, but on the daily time frame, I'm hoping that we can close this candle. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit better. Right now, this is our daily candle right here. Hopefully we can close this candle above it. Then the next candle, maybe get a little red candle or something like that. But after that, continue to head up. Then that would be great. Then we can start really getting more confident on these levels going to the upside. I might even have to break out let's see, does this show? Yeah, this one shows all the way up to .739 where we had that big huge run. But so yeah, looking pretty good for Dogecoin. I think those are the next three levels that I'm looking at: .303, .342, .464. Let's see what happens in the next couple days. Maybe we might have to come back down and retest on this, but it'd be nice if we just like got parabolic moves all the way up to here. That'd be nice. In the short term, I'm not really. I guess if we go to the 4-hour time frame, we have a trend line that we've been watching for a while, that held support right after we broke that resistance right here. Support. I think that's the main thing that I'd probably be watching too. As long as we're on this support line going to the upside on the 4-hour time frame, then that should maybe take care of it as well. Like if we broke this one though, then maybe we could start saying, oh, I wonder if we're topping out, or if we have to retrace a little bit or whatever, before we can start heading up to these next levels. But I think it's just a matter of staying above this resistance, or staying above that previous top that we broke, and then we should be good to go to these next ones. But let's see what happens. Is there anything else that I should have talked about? Yeah, Tesla's actually doing pretty good. I should have probably even went with Dogecoin though, but this was where I put in that order, and then it's gone, I think, like 13%. But Doge has kind of like outperformed that even just in the last couple of days. The cool thing about crypto too is you can trade it like on the weekends and holidays or whatever. It's not closed, so I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's about it. I think that about does it for today. Dogecoin, crypto in general is doing crazy. Hit that thumbs up button. Also, I'm getting close to 10K subscribers. I don't know, maybe if you like the video, you should hit subscribe. But also, if you like it, hit the thumbs up button. If you like this video, then maybe check out the last one. I'll post it right here. And if you are new to trading, check out this playlist right here. It'll help you get you started. But I'll see you guys in the next one.